So the Jewish people were not keeping the Sabbath years. And it appears that they had not kept them 70 times. They had done this. So it had been 490 years that they were not keeping the Sabbatical laws for the land and the Jubilee years. They were getting greedy. And so God was going to punish them for a period of 70 years. And not only that, but it extended to 490 years. God told them in Leviticus 26:18 that if they did not keep his laws, that he would punish them 7 times. And so 70-year punishment, a 70-year exile, but they were going to be punished for a full 490 years for not keeping these laws. If we look in Jeremiah 25:11 and 12, there are 2 prophecies that pertain to this 70-year time. Jeremiah 25:11 and 12. And this whole land shall be a desolation and an astonishment, and these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. And it shall come to pass, when the 70 years are accomplished, I will punish the king of Babylon, and that nation, saith the Lord, for their iniquity, and the land of the Chaldeans, and will make it a perpetual desolation. Make it perpetual desolations. Now, we can just turn on the tube at news time and see. We see something going on in Iraq every day on the news, and you can look and you can see the land. Perpetual desolations. Giant sandbox. So this has been going on for quite some time. He never says that he's going to limit the punishment on Babylon, just that it was going to be perpetual desolations. So God actually used the nation of Babylon, the Chaldeans, the king of Nebuchadnezzar and the 2 kings following him, and then used them to punish his people, and then he punished the king for doing what he was supposed to be doing and taking away the Jewish people. So he basically got used. But here Jeremiah is talking about a 70-year period where the people will be taken captive. Also over in Jeremiah 29:10 is another one. Thus saith the Lord, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word toward you, and causing you to return to this place. So in 605 BC, Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, subjugated the land of Judah. And they still had puppet kings during that time. We covered some of that when we were looking at the genealogy of Christ in that video. And it finally came to a time, if you recall, if you've seen that video, where God said, enough is enough, no more kings. Jeconiah was carried away with his mother into Babylon. His uncle reigned shortly after that, and that was the end of it. And then Nebuchadnezzar destroyed the temple, laid Jerusalem waste, and took away all the educated people into Babylon. There were probably a few stragglers left, but no one that was an educated man, no one that was a tradesman, and they were held in captivity in Babylon to punish them for not keeping the sabbatical years. Now, in Daniel chapter 9, we read that Daniel is praying because he didn't realize at the time that although the 70 years were nearly up here now, and Darius the Medes and the Persians had invaded Babylon, but he didn't see any sign of them returning to Jerusalem as yet. The reason being is that he was counting the time from the first prophecy that we just read in Jeremiah 25, which occurred in 605 BC, the subjugation of Judah. But it was a full 18 years later that the captivity went in full force and that the temple was destroyed in that time. So there are two different counting dates here. 605 BC, which was when Judah first came under the rule of Nebuchadnezzar, and then 587 BC, which was the date that the temple was destroyed. Two different counting dates, two different dates to start the count from. And Daniel is praying to the Lord because he thought that perhaps his people had been too sinful while they were in Babylon there, and that they were not going to be allowed to return. And so you can read this prayer in the first part of Daniel. I'll post it there for you, but I'm not going to go through all that just to try and save some time, because I want to get to the prophecy here, is that finally Daniel praying, and that it says that Gabriel came and he opened up his understanding and he explained this to him. And so let us read the prophecy. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city, to finish the transgression, to make an end of sins, to make reconciliation for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and build Jerusalem unto the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks, and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublous times. After 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. The people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood. And unto the end of the war desolations are determined. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. For the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. Now I'm reading in King James here. As I mentioned before, there are several parts of this that are purposely mistranslated. But I won't get into that right now, because I want to simply read this, which I have just done, and now I'm going to show you how the Christians interpret this passage.